Alright, I'm just gonna turn this on and see what we can find together. Kind of on a trail. I am going off of the beaten path just to see what we can see. Show you what I'm looking for. I am inspecting for signs of flaking, breakage, man-made versus natural. So this definitely looks like it was flaked off from something. I couldn't tell you if it was used for skinning or gutting or hide working, that kind of a thing. We've got to be careful for hazards out here. There could be scorpions, there could be snakes, centipedes, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so this was probably something. It's definitely an artifact. It's definitely man-made, but it's not really good enough quality to keep. I'm looking for things that are very obviously man-made, good artifacts, maybe arrowheads, maybe tools. A lot of cores out here. We've got to go through kind of thickets and brambles and stuff. I'm squatted down to get where I need to be. Just looking around at the rocks, looking for signs of chipping and flaking, and then examining them to see if it's natural or if it's man-made. So this one, you can see this chipping right here. This is a piece of chert. This is common to this area. This is what we're looking for. This is what they would flake off pieces to use for tools. So there is hammering on here. There is pitting. This is like a hammer type deal. You can see a bunch of pits in there. So somebody probably used it as a hammer, but again, it's not really the quality that we're looking for. It's not very, very obvious. So I'm going to leave it here. And unfortunately, to this area, that's what a lot of this stuff is. Like, there are artifacts. There's evidence that things were used, tools were made. But a lot of it isn't good enough quality to keep. In my opinion, because then you would have too many rocks. So we're always looking for little pieces of flaking. We're looking for chipped things, and we're examining to see if it's natural or not natural. I do hear people coming behind me, so hopefully they just go around. But I'm looking at all these stones. I'm trying to find evidence of human flaking. Usually if you find one, you find several. They're in little clusters, I suppose, like work areas where they would find similar stones or stones of the same material, like flint or chert, especially in this area. And they'll use what they can and leave a graveyard of all the unusable stuff. But in this area, you can also find, this was all underwater at one point, under ocean water, sea water, and so you can find fossils of marine corals and marine life as well. So you can find, like I said, coral, you can find sea urchins, you can find all types of sea life here if you know where to look or if you're looking in the right places. So in all of this, you're trying to identify what was put here by man. These rocks were added to the trail. So these rocks are not going to contain the artifacts that we want. However, off of the trail, there's a hill here, and time has eroded all of these rocks out from the hill. That's what we're exploring. So it does matter where you look. The context matters of whether or not you're going to find artifacts. Like I'm not just randomly looking for broken rocks in a place that wouldn't have Native Americans to have the artifacts. So the context of where you're looking for these rocks absolutely matters. So because the area that I'm looking was a very well-known area for different types of Native Americans to inhabit throughout the last couple thousand years, there are a lot of artifacts here. Lipan Apaches, Comanches, Tonkawas, other types of Native American tribes that I can't pronounce very well, like Cohectacons or something like that. That's some of the oldest Native Americans that lived in my area, the first ones. Well, not even the first ones. The first ones it's attributed to the Galt site, the Clovis people. And then they've even found tools below the Clovis people. So they thought the Clovis people were the first people here in North America between 18 and 20,000 years ago. But they recently unearthed tools in the layers below the Clovis people, which means they were here before. This right here is made. This is a tool. This was a hand axe or cutter, chopper. It's meant to be held like this and used. It's rounded off in the edge, on the end here. It's rounded off on purpose. This has been hammered away to change the shape. This has been smoothed off so you have a better, easier grip right here, and you hold it and you use it to chop. And this is what you use this for. So this is a hand axe or a cutter. This is the most basic, prolific tool that you will find out here. Lots of hand axes, a lot of cutting tools. They would use it, like I said, to chop down whatever you need it to. This is a bigger tool. It's got a lot of heft to it. They do make them bigger, or they do utilize bigger rocks for the same purpose. They do utilize slightly smaller rocks for the same purpose. But this is a hand axe. It has the telltale signs of being hit and struck to be shaped. Has the hammer marks here. It's been sheared off. It's been sheared off and rounded. This is what we're looking for.